Again, there's two different kinds of wrenches depending upon the model of the gun. They made two different size barrel nuts, and I'll kind of show that to you here in a minute. ILWT makes replacement barrels, barrels with 3-lug adapters on them, barrels with threaded ends on them, shorter barrels, actually some really nice equipment. No specs online or anywhere about what the torque spec is on these. They're really tight, and I'll kind of show you. There's two. There's one there and there's one there. There's two barrel nuts, one backs up another, and it sits up against a plate, which is right here. Rob's got a video online where he talks about it, and he says that he thinks it's maybe 20 or 30 foot-pounds. Again, I talked with Joe at Global Ordnance about this, and he said that according to Grand Power, it's just tight, snug and tight. The first time I took this off, I measured it, and mine were almost 50 foot-pounds, which is a shit ton for a barrel nut. Probably won't put them back on that tight, and I've had them off before, so these are pretty much just kind of hand tight. I wanted not to over tighten just for the purpose of this. So pull each one of these off. If you don't have the spanner, you're not going to get this off unless you can make yourself one. My opinion is just go ahead and order them from ILWT. Well made, not expensive. I can get all of it. Alright, so like I was saying, there's two separate sizes. Again, I think they differentiated it. This is according to Rob, depending upon the year and the manufacture date of the gun. And really the only difference is these cutouts in the barrel nuts. The older ones were kind of smaller. So I think that they went with this wider version to give you more, kind of a purchase on it when you're trying to remove it or install it. The nice thing is if you go on to ILWT's website, because they sell barrels, they also sell replacements. I went ahead and picked up some, why not? Always good to have the extras, just in case you happen to mess them up when you're taking them out or putting them back in. Pretty simple. Alright, so from there, we're pretty much good to go to kind of remove the barrel. The barrel's just going to slide straight out the back. Like I said, there's a plate that's on the front. There it is. It's right there. That's basically what the barrel nuts sit against. So barrel nuts and the plate. And then there's two plates, like I was saying. There's a plate that's basically here. It goes all the way up in the receiver. The barrel goes through it. And then there's another plate here. It goes up into the receiver and the barrel goes through it. Like I was showing you before with my light. The rear one here has where the roller sits. That's how you get the delay. And the front one there, although it's not exactly even with the rail, I don't really think it has any kind of planned purpose for it. They're kind of interesting when you take them out. They're actually labeled. Alright, so we're going to push this out. You're going to see when you push the barrel out, you're going to have the area. The barrel's obviously only going to come out one way. It's going to come straight out the back of the receiver. Gotta pull this off in order to get it out. And I've done this a couple times, and I'll tell you, for my Stribog, it has got some tight tolerances, which I like. It's fine. So anyway, so here's the rear plate basically that the barrel squares up on, and I'll show you that when I get the gun out, or when I get the barrel out. But you've got this little clip here, and this clip is actually what sits against. When you've got the lower on, it actually sits against the bolt catch here, and it pushes the bolt catch down. And then of course, as you get your last round bolt hole open, that little tab on the magazine pushes up on this little piece here, and then it pushes up against that spring. So the spring is really easy to mess up. It's easy to bend. I think it's kind of a crappy design, to be honest with you. But there's options for that as well. So you got to just kind of push that out of the way. It's not easy unless it's perfectly straight. Alright, get the whole assembly out. Alright, and again, you can kind of see it as you get the barrel out. This only goes on one way. You can't mess it up. I guess you could. You could put it on upside down, which would be like this, but then the spring would be on the top instead of on the bottom. It rides on the right hand side. It obviously squares up on the back of the barrel. It only goes one way. Another item that I did pick up, again, ILT. Rob makes replacement springs. I kind of like these. They're a lot more robust. Definitely look like they're made out of a better spring steel than the stuff that they make these out of. I'll definitely be replacing that when I put the gun back together. In the meantime, I'll just take it off so I don't lose it. So basically everything comes off. Nice, clean. Probably polish up the feed ramp if I don't replace the barrel altogether. And then again, going to the blocks. And interestingly enough, this is the one with the roller. It's got a C printed in the top of it, and the C for me faces forward. Don't know if it makes a difference, but I just make sure to put it back together the same way. And this one has an E. Again, faces forward. And that's that for the receiver. It's completely done. It's completely bare. It's going to get Cerakoted just like this. So that's going to go in the box, and that's going to go to Tom at one-off coating. Alright. The lower. The lower's not that bad. It's pretty simple. The only real, I won't even say tricky part, is getting the safety selector out. I'm going to start by giving myself a little towel here just in case, because I like to make sure that I'm not going to lose these stupid little clips here. These are the clips that basically hold the retainers that hold in your pins. And so again, I don't like to make sure I don't lose those. I lost one when I broke it down once. Spent about 30 minutes looking for it. It was a huge pain in the neck. So I try not to lose them. If you do lose them, also ILT makes replacements. Again, a little bit more robust. They look pretty nice. The front one's a different shape than the rear one, which is actually pretty cool because this one doesn't really